Good afternoon and welcome back to the afternoon last session of this 5-day UGC sponsored faculty development program on outcome-based education, teaching, learning and evaluation. And we request all the online and offline participants to fill the feedback forms in the given link. And we'll start the session within few minutes, please. We request all the online participants to join. Welcome back to all online and offline participants of 5-day UGC-sponsored online-offline faculty development program on outcome-based education, teaching, learning, and evaluation. We are very fortunate to have many resourceful, eminent resource persons from various institutions. And we are now at the edge of our completion of our FDP. And at this session, this is the final technical session, 15th session for this faculty development program. We are very much thankful to the resource person for accepting our invitation to share his resources on ICT for enhancing outcome-based learning. And we are very much thankful for the resource person, Dr. P. Sektivel Garu, Professor, Department of Political Science and Public Administration, and also Deputy Controller of Examinations, Annamalai University, Tamil Nadu. Sir, we feel very thankful for accepting our invitation, sir. And with your permission, we'll start this session, sir. Okay. Now I request the chairperson of this session, Dr. Chidambaram Garu, to come on to the dais to chair this session, and we welcome you, sir. Now I request, it gives me immense pleasure to invite our resource person, chief guest of this session, Dr. P. Sektivelu Garu, Professor, Department of Political Science and Public Administration and Deputy Controller of Examinations, Annamalai University, to embellish his honorable chair. Thank you, sir. And I also request the reporter of this session, Sri P. Ravi Garu, to come on to the dais and act as reporter. Thank you very much, sir. Now I request the chairperson of this session to continue the proceedings, please.
Good afternoon to all the participants of online and offline. I have immense pleasure to introduce the resource person, namely Dr. P. Satyavelu, Professor and Deputy Controller of Examination, HOD, the Department of Political Science, Annamalai University, Tamil Nadu. He had 22 years of teaching experience in various fields of education. He had successfully guided 4 PhD scholars and 18 MPhil scholars. His area of specialization in research, a study of Muslim politics and political organization in Tamil Nadu. Dr. P. Satyavelu had published 82 articles in the journals of national and international reputes and edited 3 books. He delivered 285 lectures and presented 103 papers in seminars and conferences. He visited Sri Lanka, Malaysia, Abu Dhabi, and UAE to present the papers. Besides these, he had organized 7 conferences. Dr. P. Satyavelu acted as a coordinator for UGC-sponsored training program and various sensitization program on women rights and education. He was awarded with the PC Alexander Endowment Gold Medal, Best Research Paper, and Best Teacher Award in the year 2016. He also served as a member of BOS of various universities in Tamil Nadu. I hope the present session is going to share his experiences to the participants. On behalf of the organizers and the participants, I welcome you, sir, to continue the session. Thank you for giving me the opportunity. Thank you, Manada.
Most respected, my elder brother and director of this program, as well as principal of the college, Ananda Reddy Garu, Madam and Controller of Examinations, Sujana Madam, organizing committee members, and my boss and the controller of examination of Annamalai University, Brother Dr. Silvanarayanan. I'm so happy to meet all my young teachers from different disciplines, not only political science, because I met my friend, my political science friend in the morning, and other social science discipline and science discipline also present here. And I think this is the last session. That too after having a delicious lunch. Putting me in the last session is always a nightmare for Shaktivel. And keep the momentum and keep the temperament of the participants alive for another 1 hour. I believe that and I hope that the session will be very useful. I have taken a very interesting topic, I think, in continuation with what our controller of examination completed in the morning session. I am just going to continue my presentation that it is not Mada Pita Guru, it is a Mada Pita Google and Guru. In between, there is a Google is available. And it is a really challenging task for all the teachers to be in the classroom and keep the attention of the students for 1 hour without any distraction. When I come across a study, a scientific study, the conclusion of the study is very interesting. The conclusion of the study is very interesting. See, we are all in 40s and 50s. And our father and our forefathers, they can continuously, just listen, it is a very interesting conclusion of the study. Our fathers and our forefathers, our great grandfathers, they can concentrate on particular things for continuously 40 minutes. For example, if I am teaching, or if my father had attending a class, continuously for 40 minutes, my father was able to concentrate on the topic and the lecture. And from 40 minutes, when come to Shaktivel, it has come to 20 minutes. From Shaktivel, it has come to the young lecturer, and some of the students and research scholars are also available in this August gathering. You know, the concentration time for our younger generation, especially the generation who born in late 20th century and in the beginning of the 21st century, and anyone can able to tell me the concentration time? How many minutes and how many seconds they can able to concentrate on particular event or the particular lecture? Can able to say anyone in the class or anyone in the August gathering? It is not even 2 minutes. It is less than 2 minutes. It is less than 2 minutes. Don't come to conclusion that your students are listening your lecture. And we should know that the students are physically present, mentally they are absent. I don't know whether they are thinking about India-England 2020 match, or they are thinking about the last match when the Tamil Nadu player Nadaraj bowled the last over and saved the India. Whether they are thinking about that one, or they are thinking about the better half, or they are thinking about the would-be, or they are thinking about the next movie by Chiranjeevi or son of Chiranjeevi, I don't know. You cannot read the minds of the students in the classroom. So this is a scientific study published in US reputed journal that the concentration by the student, by the teacher, or a person, ordinary person, it has drastically come down from 40 minutes to 20 minutes, from 20 minutes to 2 minutes. So continuously our students can able to listen and show attention to particular things and particular event or particular point for maximum 2 minutes, and 3rd minutes they're thinking about something. So this is the number one challenge in the classroom lecture. I used to advise to my young teachers. Because I have some 23 years of experience. I think that is good enough to share my experience with my teachers. I used to talk to my friends, my young teachers, don't go and start your class immediately. You enter the class, see that the students are seated well, whether all the students are physically present or mentally they present in the classroom. and get the attention of all the students, then you start your class. So that is my simple experience. So classroom management, physical management, psychological management is very important. Now it has come to the ICT, that is information communication technology. That is the greatest challenge in 21st century. So one way it is essential for OBE, or as morning our controller shared one document, that is UGC as released with learning outcome based document. The cover story was available in today's Hindu newspaper. It's very difficult, my dear friends, to get the attention of the students in the classroom. And this mobile phone is a lot of distraction for the students. And I'm going to share with you how the students as well as young faculty members, we can use the electronic gadgets, for example, mobile phones, tabs, softwares, ICT tools for productive purpose in the class, as well as in framing the syllabi, drafting the syllabi, and put it in the motion. Here, the topic I just chosen very consciously, ICT, because I am a person, I am a teacher, one who effectively use the mobile phone for my class teaching, for organizing myself, collecting literature, collecting information up to date, and keep myself up to date with the current affairs. Because my subject is a political science. I am teaching political science. It is a dynamic subject. Constantly, it is getting changed. So when I am not keep in touch with the developments, I will be out of the classroom. My students will throw me out of the classroom because they are the people. I already told Mada, Pita, Google, and Guru. You teach anything. If you are teaching GST, they talk about 101 Constitution Amendment. If you are talking about pandemic COVID-19, they said that, sir, already spread out to 224 countries, sir. You are too late, sir. It is not 193 countries, sir. Already the pandemic has reached 224 countries, sir. Now it's the third wave in Germany. Lockdown already started in Germany. So they are sharing all the stories because more than that teachers, more than that teaching faculty members, please don't underestimate our students. They are the people who are well versed in technology. Now there is a social scientist who called as Habermas, Johann Habermas. I think social science teachers may be aware about Habermas. Now Habermas says we are not living in democracy. We are not living in democracy. We are living in technocracy. It is not a democracy. It is a technocracy. For example, whether it is a West Bengal election, or it is a Kerala election, or the Tamil Nadu election, or Assam election, it is a technology, ICT, electronic gadgets, social media. It is influencing the entire electoral process. You know, IPAC, Prashant Kishore, who is designing election campaign dress, what Stalin should talk, what Stalin should not talk with the general public. Electoral manifesto being decided by the IPAC. Candidates for each constituency being decided by the IPAC. So they have a very, very robust ICT network within the state. And more important, my dear students, elections are going to be held in April 6th, that in the 2021. The IPAC and its own company, they come to Chidambaram in 2019 itself. They started groundwork, and there is a place, it's called the Murali's Park Avenue. My controller knows the place. In that place, Murali's Park Avenue, they hired a house for 20,000 rupees every month. And if you enter the house, because I happen to visit the place, because my students is also working for IPAC, there's excellent telecommunication network they are having. They are designing campaign, they're designing dress, they're designing social media, memes, etc., etc., etc. So this is what we are living in ICT. You cannot sit aside, you cannot reject, and you cannot get away from ICT, information communication technology. I will share one practical experience, whether you believe it or not. In my department, I have one teacher, one professor, who is not well versed in ICT, computer, or digital literacy. Every day he used to get the printout of the inbox of the Gmail. He's not going to sitting in front of the computer, not going to the inbox, and not opening the mail, not reading the mail in the system. Every day morning, the computer wala, the assistant programmer should come and take a printout of the inbox I'm telling it is a fact. So you are in the one side and they are on the other side. In the morning also, our controller, Dr. Silvanaran, said that stakeholders must be sensitized. Stakeholders' commitments is very essential. When there is a lack of commitments, you cannot implement any innovation, any new practices, any best practices. Please understand. So every day you used to take a printout of the inbox and he will take this mail, this mail. Again, he will go and open the inbox, open the mail. Again, he will take a printout. See how much of energy waste, paper waste. Now we are going for a paperless examination, digital valuation. So this is the other side of the ICT, especially in higher education. My dear friends, now we are living in the era of OB, that is outcome-based education. Whether you believe it or not, whether you are interested or not, whether you welcome or not, now we have to implement. America, they already implemented. Australia implemented, but they revoked. And in European Union, also 15 countries, they already implemented outcome-based education system. But now we introduced only in 2000s, late 2000s only. And for your kind information, including your state and including my state, 80% of the education institutions, they have not framed the syllabus in accordance with the outcome-based education model. Because almost 11 universities and 13 or 14 colleges, I'm regularly visiting as an academic audit member, as a member of the board of studies, as for evaluation board, or for updating the syllabus. I know it is disheartening to share with you, the syllabus are not updated. The syllabus are not carrying program outcome or not contains the link or the online resources, Swayam or MOOC courses link not available with the syllabus. But now we are talking about OBE. There comes the ICT, that is information communication technology. So whether you believe it or not, whether you are interested or not, we are living in a world what we call is as a technocracy. Technology is ruling the country. That is, a cracy is nothing but rule. Techno is nothing but technology. I think you know that democracy is a people's rule. It is a technology rule that we are living. Whether man is living in the mainstream life, whether the students are in the mainstream life, I don't know. But we have to adopt, we have to get along with the technological advancement, that is ICT. And more important is, my dear teaching faculty members, my dear young teachers, please see the advancement of ICT in a positive direction. Now the variety of opportunities are available. After this OBE, after this ICT or the technological advancement introduced in the education system. Now I am sitting in Annamalai University. I am delivering lecture to the Swayam portal. I am delivering lecture to the MOOC courses. That is massive open online courses are available. And I wish that my teachers, my friends who are sitting in this hall, those who are attending the program, they should be the mentor, they should be the coordinator for the MOOC courses, Swayam courses. And we have to go to the next level, not teaching only at the traditional level, conventional level. And we should also go to the next level. Otherwise, you won't be welcomed by your teachers, you won't be welcomed by your students. This is what my experience. So please listen. ICT has a profound impact, positive impact on the career of the teachers. So we have to go beyond our curriculum. We have to go beyond our campus, and we should to address to the students at the global level. Next one. Then coming to another thing is, without ICT, electronic gadgets or the e-resources, e-book or whatever you call, we will be completely outdated in the education system. Please understand. We will be completely outdated from the education system. The ICT is not only managing yourself, but also you can effectively manage yourself, and you can also assess yourself where you are standing in the teaching and education process. Where you are standing. When there was an assignment was given to me to frame the syllabi for the entire undergraduate program in a Coimbatore college, that is a private college. And within 13 or 14 days, I have framed the syllabus in accordance with the OBE pattern, in accordance with the criteria prescribed by the university. Because already I told that I am the person who is always using the electronic ICT for productive purpose. So here, what I'm trying to say, the quality of the teacher as well as the quality of teaching is, it depends on how effectively you are using your communication technology. And the conclusion also, sir said that the online examination, success of the online examination depends on the students are exposed to the digital literacy. The students are exposed to the Android version of mobile phone or tab, etc., etc. Same thing also I am sharing with you. This is also applicable to the teacher. When you are exposed to the ICT, electronic devices, you will be success and you will be ranked in a higher level by your peer group, especially your students. So the part of NAC or the part of anything, NBA, etc., etc., getting feedback from the students about the teacher is a mandatory. So the teacher who is effectively using the electronic and the technology for teaching as well as framing the syllabus, and they will be viewed and they will be ranked in a higher level in the feedback system. So this is my humble submission. Then another thing is, as during the lunch hours also, we had a discussion with our principal. Every year and once in 3 years, continuously, we are updating our syllabus. When you are going for a NAC re-accreditation, that is one criteria. How many times in a year or how many times in the last 5 years you revised your syllabus in accordance with the job market, in accordance with the syllabi prescribed by UGC or NBA or AICTE? That is the main question being raised in the NAC re-accreditation. So one cannot say that, sir, I'm comfortable with this syllabus. I'm comfortable in teaching this paper. So let it be the paper for another 5 years. You cannot say. So the eyes should be break. The mind should change. That we have to change the syllabus continuously, at least once in a year. And there must be, like a social audit, we must be an academic audit. That academic audit is very, very essential. So the main agenda of this OBE to convert our local graduates into the global level graduates. So in that sense, the soft skills, the life skills, technological skills are very, very essential. Next one. Then coming to the next point, it is an opportunity for the students to go beyond the traditional way of learning. You wanted me to talk about the OBE, I can able to talk. You wanted me to talk about the life skills, I can able to talk. You wanted me to talk about any topic, I can able to talk and I can able to deliver the lecture. The reason is the information is in your doorstep. It is in your fingertip. But students are not ready to use the opportunity. When I was doing, this is my personal experience, when I was doing PhD, for any literature collection, for any material, for books or taking a photocopy, I will have to visit Chennai. Those data material were not available with Annamalai or with other universities or colleges. Now the information is in your fingertips. Whether our students are using for productive purpose, that is another question. So my dear friends, it is an opportunity for the teachers to improve your skills, to improve your life skills. That is very, very important. And more important is, when you wanted to convert your graduates, your students into employable graduates, these life skills are very, very essential. I humble request to all the participants, don't produce only the graduates. Produce employable graduates. The person who complete undergraduation or the post-graduation should go and get an employment opportunity in the job market. And he should stand on his own leg. Go with the maximum potential, excellent the skills. That is the purpose of this OBE. Then another important thing is, there is a wide range of opportunities are available for the teaching faculty members for collaborative research. Collaborative research in the sense, even at the college level, you can collaborate with other college faculty members. And for the university level, you can also collaborate with other university teachers. And don't simply confine yourself with this campus. Don't confine yourself with one college. So collaborative research is another area where you can also pay your attention and you can also think about doing a research and to the beyond level of your colleges, other things. And another very popular medium of the online, the teaching, especially during the pandemic, even after the pandemic, There's a video conferencing, online chatting, and what we call as collective social media, etc., etc. is available. It is a compulsion. I never thought that I'm going to teach for 1 year through online platform. I never thought, and I never think. Initially, I was not comfortable with the teaching in Zoom. Initially, I was not comfortable with the teaching in Google Meet or Microsoft Team or any social platform. But I can say 1 or 2 days and I can refuse 1 or 2 days, but third day I will have to teach. Now I am very comfortable. I am so comfortable with the teaching in online that variety of opportunities are available. And more important is you can collaborate with the rural and urban learners. Please understand. You can collaborate with the rural and urban learners. Don't think that you are addressing only to the urban students. You are also addressing to the rural students. Now this technocracy, the technology has reduced the distance between rural and urban learners. Now you are very close to urban students as well as you are close to the rural learners also. Next one. Then another thing is, if you just go to the OB, much has been discussed already. This is, I think, the 15th session. I'm right, I think, as said by Sir. In the previous 14 sessions, you had a variety of exposure to the OB. I'm not going to talk about all the aspects of the OB, but one important criteria is a soft skills. This is what our students are lacking. See, they studied 3 years. When they are leaving the campus without much familiar, without much gain in soft skills, they are leaving the campus. They are lacking communication skill. They are lacking interpersonal relations. They are lacking stress management, personality development. And what is the use of going and completing the degree without gaining or understanding the significance of the life skills? Even our Prime Minister also in one Mann Ki Baat for half an hour spoke about the significance of the life skills. So don't think that, my dear faculty members, life skills, not only for the teachers, not only for the students, it's for both. When I am talking about life skills and my skills is also increasing, it is a treasure. It is a treasury. It is a treasure. Like every month we are getting salary, you know, and every month you are also getting something, some skills when you are teaching life skills. And more important is nobody can take away from you. Nobody can take away. Nobody can steal from you. And this is the number one skill, which is essential for a successful teacher as well as a successful learner. So please understand, only with the help of ICT, that is information communication technology, we can improve our students' skills and life skills. So this is another important. Then coming to the next one, there is a core issue in India is unemployment as well as underemployment. Even morning also, I was just sharing a statistics with our principal. During the pandemic, my dear friends, the unemployment rate has increased to 30 to 36% in India. And especially for the child labor, it has increased to 60%. This year, we are unable to get good number of students for our colleges, whether undergraduation as well as post-graduation. You know, what is the reason? Our Annamalai University, as said by our controller every year, we used to get more than 1 lakh students for the distance education. I think my friend also asked about enrollment in distance education. Sir, how many students you admitted this year? Now, we are able to admit only 46,000 students only. But previously it was 1.3, 1.4 lakh. Why? What is the reason? In Madras University, 4 departments, nil admission. Not confined with the social science, sir. Don't come to conclusion. Maybe it is a history, maybe it is a political science. I am so sorry. It is in science. 4 centers and 4 department, nil admission. Please understand. If you want to check my statement, go to the Times of India. Day before yesterday, the cover story about, yes, sir, Times of India. Cover story about Madras University, why they are unable to get students this year, the pandemic. Last year, March 24th, the lockdown declared. And one of the greatest and one of the most blessed people in the world is a people or the person who are working in government sector government education institutions, teachers, bureaucrats are gifted person in the world. Because regularly we are getting salary. But as said by our controller in the morning, I think today newspaper also about the auto rickshaw people who are in Chittoor and Kanipakam, Tirupati, 40% of the auto rickshaw people, they lost a job. Their livelihood is a big question mark. So 1 year our students are away from the classroom. Face-to-face contact we have lost. And if you ask me my personal opinion, I am always support traditional, conventional way of teaching in the classroom. But I am here to talk about how the ICT is enhancing. So I am talking. Okay, next one. Now we come to just to see the ICT tool for enhancing the OBC. One is we have the writers tools at ICT for teaching online classes. My dear students and my dear faculty members, research scholars, I was talking about John Rawls. Immediately, one student asked a question in the online class, "Sir, I have not seen John Rawls in my life, sir." Then I asked the question, "Have you seen Rajinikanth?" "Yes, sir, I have seen Rajinikanth." "Don't worry, I will also show John Rawls just 2 minutes." Immediately, just I browsed John Rawls image and I copied and I pasted it in the PowerPoint and I shown to my students. This is the advantages of ICT. Now, our students are quite familiar with ICT tools and online classes teaching. And another important is the cloud storage and the data management system. My dear teachers and my dear young faculty members, you can store your data, you can store your presentations, your lectures, everything in the cloud system. Or you can store your presentations, everything in the Google Drive. And if you wish, if you wanted to share the link, share the video, you can send the link to your friends, send an invite mail and give the acceptance. And once you accept, they can access your presentation. Every day I'm posting my PowerPoint or my video lecture or my audio lecture in the Google platform. And I give the link to my students. Anybody wanted to listen, please listen. This is the advantages of ICT. So without ICT, without technology, we cannot move to the next level. That is especially the OB. Then video capturing and editing tools is available. And more important is when you are teaching in an online class, we should be triply careful about our pronunciation, our language, the content which we are delivering in the online class. In offline, you can correct it. In offline, you can manage the students, but in online lecture, continuously, they are recording your conversation. They are recording your lecture. And not only the teacher, not only your students, but the parents are also listening to our lecture. So it is another side of ICT. So the video conferencing, video capturing, creating animations and website creations are available. Even if you are ready to spend few hundreds, you can create your own website. You can create your own blogs and you can continuously post your presentations, your lectures, everything. Even I can also post my lecture, today's lecture in my website. And some of the teachers who are effectively managing their website and I'm just opening your eyes. You can just think about that level also. And don't confine yourself with the teaching only the traditional teaching, just to move to the next level. So these are variety of lectures, variety of materials are available. And one thing I just wanted to is interactive content is available. Now the students are not ready to go to the library. I'm so sorry. You just go and see the library lecture or the records being maintained in the library. How many of your students are visiting the library every day? How many of the students, they visited the library every week or once in a week or once in 15 days or once in a month? Just go and see that. They are the rare visitor of our library. Every day they are going to the canteen, but they are not ready to go to the library. So they are also away from the traditional, because when you are a student, when I was a student, every day, even one single class was cancelled, immediately we rush to the library. 45 minutes or 50 minutes, at least we will read newspaper. If at all I'm not reading any literature, I am reading newspaper in the library. I wanted that ambience, that atmosphere should be with me. So I visit library every day. But now The students are not ready to go to the library. So then comes to the e-content. You can develop the e-content maybe in your own language, whether you are comfortable with your Telugu, comfortable with Tamil, comfortable with English. No, language doesn't matter. Language doesn't matter. Now I can able to talk in Telugu, but you people cannot understand, digest my Telugu. You will run away from the class lecture because it is like a butter English, it is like a butter Telugu also. Butler, sorry. I can talk, but you cannot understand. But when you are comfortable with your vernacular language, you can also develop the e-content. I have developed 2 e-content for my subject. These lectures are available in Swayam portal. And one is ideology in political science, in politics. And second is on political theory. It is available. That gives a sense of confidence that Shaktivel can also go to the next level. Next topic. Then another thing is when the teachers or the system will help the institutions. It is not only helping the teachers, but also it is helping the institutions to keep in touch with the students, to keep in touch with your learners. And more important is, my dear friends, the success and the failure of any system, it depends on minimum basic understanding of the benefits of the ICT by the teacher as well as by the faculty members. That is very, very essential. Then come to another thing is, you can think at a higher level. Think globally, act locally, or think locally, act globally, maybe, whatever may be. You can think at the global level, and you can also, maybe your thinking may go to the next level. In politics, we used to say that maybe you are living in India, maybe you are living in a rural India, but think about the global level. I don't know. You don't know when you will get employment opportunity, when you will get a career opportunity to move to the world rank universities. So that creative thinking, it is also available, another thing. And more important is, empower the students to the better prepared. And more important is, the ongoing technological changes will have profound influence on not only yourself, but also with the society. Next one. Then coming to, in OBE, they have identified certain core areas, life skills areas, where the government is planning to enhance the life skills of the students, especially with life skills, the basic skills and the professional vocational skills. I can say 60 to 70% of our students are lacking all the skills. I think you would agree with me. I'm right, sir? You would agree with me. Because once we enter the class, immediately we are teaching our subject. Now, I am just practicing one best practices in my life. 1 hour, my class hour, I will teach 45 minutes the subject. And last 10 to 12 minutes, I will talk any general issue, any general topic, which the students feel that they wanted to listen from me. So, my dear young teachers, first day of the first semester, beginning of the semester, I used to distribute papers to the class students. And I request the class students, my students, to write 2 or 3 topics, any topic. Whether it's a global warming, you write. Soft skill, you write. Communication skill, you write. Artificial intelligence, write. Women empowerment, no problem. Welfare schemes, write. Or you wanted to write Jagan Mohan Reddy Garu, write. You wanted me to talk about NTR, write. Wanted me to talk about Prashant Kishore, write. Wanted me to talk about dressing sense, you write. Any topic, just write 2 or 3 topics. And I will collect all the papers of my students. Whether you believe it or not, this is my the class notes pad. Every day I used to go with this pad only. Inside there is a class notes are available. And every day, from the topics given by the students, I will talk to the students 10 to 12 minutes on that general topic which is useful for the students. The first topic will be CSAT, Civil Service Aptitude Test. The second topic may be how to prepare for competitive examination, because the students need the life skills and the basic skills. So teaching history essential, teaching political science essential, but beyond that, teaching of the life skills is very, very essential, because when you wanted to enhance, when you wanted to upgrade your students to the global level, These skills are very, very essential. And at the same time, please teach your students about interpersonal relations. Please teach about interpersonal relations. Because more time they are spending with mobile phone, software, hardware, but peace is nowhere. No personal relations. No personal relations. 4 students are going to Tirupati, and 1 student is in the east, another student in west, another student south, another student north. Nobody is talking with each other, but they are going in a particular place. Everybody is using mobile phone, Android version. No communication, no conversation, no talking in English, no talking in Telugu. How the communication will improve? See, you're all parents. You're all teachers. You never allowed your kids, you never allowed your students to raise the questions in the classroom. But after 3 years or end of the 3rd year, you wanted to put all your students in the campus recruitment. There is going to be a group discussion. There is going to be debate discussions. How the language will improve? You never allowed your children to speak in the classroom. You never allowed your kids to speak in your family. Then how their communication language will improve? Please understand my intention. I'm right or wrong, sir? You are paying 10,000 rupees, 15,000 rupees after the course is over for communication language skills. That is a part and parcel of our curriculum. But we fail to teach in the classroom, then we will have to pay in the next year. So this is also applicable not only for the students, but also for your kids. Please allow your students to raise questions, queries, clarifications, doubts. You call by any name. You call by any name, but please allow the student to talk in the classroom. That is one of the important things, that is interpersonal relations, interpersonal skills. So this is the number one skills when you wanted to be a successful man in your career. This is what we are teaching. Next one. Then coming to next one. Much has been talking about life skills, much has been talking about this career skill or soft skill, anything. But here the main objective of all the life skill is our students should get a job, our students should be empowered, and our students should be placed in reputed institutions. And more important is when they are leaving the campus, they should go with the confidence. Please understand. They should not hide the degree in the backside. They should go with the showing the degree. That sense of confidence we have to create. That is the purpose of revising, updating, continuously modifying our syllabus in according to with the requirements of the society, requirement of the job market. Please understand. So when you just see removing the fear, developing the workplace ethics, etc., the first question we raise in the interview board, how many years you are working in the particular company, particular office, a particular department? Tell me. Whether that particular student or the employer or the employee is moving from one institution to another institution. We wanted to just map, wanted to just track the record of the students. Why? When he is very frequently moving from one company to another company, there's something wrong with workplace ethics. So the money is pouring. Government is investing the money. But when it is not being implemented properly, what is the use of budget allocations, financial allocations? Everything will be futile exercise. Please understand. So this is entire the purpose, listening skill, everything. Hardly our students are listening in the classroom. Even we also hardly listen the voices of our students, voices of our wife and voices of our husband. I'm right or wrong? Yes. This is hard reality. Very few occasions only we are listening proper. When we are not listening properly, how we can able to react in the classroom? So all the skills are essentially required for our younger generation. And this is the purpose of this OBE, where the ICT devices are coming. Next one. Then coming to next one. Very good. So the pandemic is not going to be permanent, sir. The pandemic is not going to be permanent. Maybe it is going to end. I believe and I wish and I pray to my God. You call it a Kanipakam, Vinayagar, or Tirupati, Venkadajalapati Karu, or any name you call. I wish and I believe that this pandemic should come to end at least by middle of this year. After this pandemic, please remember, please note down, variety of employment opportunities are awaiting for our students. Whether we are equipping our students for that level, that is another big question. And another challenge, please understand, challenge for our kids, challenge for our students, not only from Chittoor, from Middle East, from UAE, the people they migrated and they come to India, and at least 30% of the migrant workers, 30% of the migrant population, they will be remains with you, and they are going to be challenge for our students. They are going to be challenge for our local youth. So there is going to be a stiff competition after this COVID-19. When there is an advertisement, when there is a post is called for, local people will also apply, as well as the people who are coming from overseas, they will also apply. You just think who will be recruited. Shaktivel is on one side. Person who has come from Canada, person who has come from UAE, he will be also applying. And technically, I am not competent, but he is technically very strong. In subject is in language, I am not competent, but he is very, very competent, promising. So who will be recruited? Whether I will be recruited, you will be recruited, the person who has come from overseas will be recruited. So here, after this pandemic, a variety of employment opportunity, these opportunities will be conquered only by persons with the potential, persons with the life skills. That is one thing. Next one, sir. Then coming to, I think it is a very, very sad story, but I wanted to share with you. There is no other way. Now, this is Tiruchirappalli. I think you are close to Tamil Nadu. There is a very famous city in corporation in Tamil Nadu is Tiruchirappalli. We call it as a Tiruchirappalli, or you call any name. There in the public place in the street, there are all MBA graduates, management graduates, MBA graduates. They are selling handkerchiefs and doormats. They are selling for minimum percentage of benefits, minimum profit. They are selling in the market. There is something fundamentally wrong with our system, education system. I told you, the main objective of this OBE is to address unemployment as well as underemployment. This is underemployment. I'm so sorry. Whether we are producing our graduates as employable graduates, we are not producing our graduates with employable graduates. And converting the employable graduates is one important challenge that is before you. Next one. Then coming to another thing is, there's a variety of softwares are available for this teaching, the new method of teaching, that is OBE. First one is, there is a robot toolkit for examination automation. I think already we had a discussion in the morning. Starting from registering the examination, conducting the examination, post-examination process, now the private universities, the private education institutions are there going for an automation, complete automation. I'm so happy in our university, if the students are ready to spend 3 minutes, they can complete the whole process of applying the examination only 3 minutes, sir. We are providing a separate link for the students. When you click the link, then automatically it will go to the website. Minimum credential, minimum payment, nil charges for the payment, because we had a tie-up with our local bank. Within 3 minutes, the student can able to write examination. We have the software. This is the advantages of technology. And another thing is, once you register, immediately you will get a confirmation SMS. And we are providing previously, not now, previously we a lot of difficulties, we scrapped this. We have abandoned the practice. We are providing students opportunity to edit the application also 2 or 3 times. But now everything is in the fingertips of the students. And second thing is planning and development, including e-procurement. Really, I'm happy. I'm really happy that this is the government college. I have not seen such kind of beautiful auditorium with what you call is e-resources. I have not seen government colleges in Tamil Nadu. Maybe some of the colleges may have, but the colleges which I have visited, I have never seen that such ambience, such facility in government colleges, because e-procurement and the materials which right now is available with the college is really appreciable. But optimum level you are utilizing the opportunity or the facilities you are using. For that also, there's a variety of opportunity available. Third is e-learning materials. Now, as a part of SWAYAM and MOOC, that is MOOC, The teachers are entrusted with the responsibility to develop e-learning resources. Please understand. You need not to type, you need not to print books and circulate to the library personally. You need not go to the library, sir. You need not go to the Vijayawada, need not go to the Guntur or other places in Andhra Pradesh. By sitting in your room, by sitting in your college, you can develop e-learning resources and you can circulate with your faculty members, with your students, with the royalty and with the copyright, you can circulate. Within a day, within a minute, within a second, hundreds and thousands of the people, they will receive your e-learning material. And for your kind information, in Swayam and the MOOC portal, the e-learning materials are prepared by you, whether Shaktivel or you, it will be available. Anybody can download and anybody can access. Recently, our controller has published a book. Book was published in Springer. Within 3 months, more than 7,240 people, they download the entire book. How many times your articles being downloaded? How many times your article being read by the reviewers or the students? The data is available. But previously, that facility were not available with. There is education institutions and education research and development institutions are ready to prepare a software for your college. But one thing is, it is not a one-time investment. There is a recurring investment is essential. As I said by earlier speaker, computer science, ICT, every day it is updating. You need to update. So that is another thing. And mobile applications for enhancing the soft skills and the technical skills. I think in Google, you just go to the Google Play Store. More than 40 different types of mobile applications are available for our students to preparing for civil service examination. This is the information for my students and research scholars. 40 plus mobile applications, free applications are available. You download Amazon, please download the Hindu or any newspaper mobile application, and this will empower you and that will disempower you. Please understand. Buying something from the Amazon, buying something from eBay or from Flipkart, that won't empower you 100%. But these mobile applications will empower. Now, each and every colleges, private colleges, government institutions are developing a mobile applications. Variety of services are available in that particular mobile application. I am so happy. In Tamil Nadu, the government is providing 671 government services through one mobile applications. You need not go to the government offices. You need not go to the government website. Only this, mobile application, you will get variety of services. So now the education institutions are providing mobile applications where variety of services are available for our students, please. Now this is the simple one mobile application, which is widely being used in education institutions in Tamil Nadu. That is what we call it as a Hire Me. Now, there are two aspects. One is, these mobile applications Hire Me, the free version is available, trial version is available, paid version is available. My son, who is studying in an engineering college in Tamil Nadu, the college, they are using the Hire Me as a mobile application for conducting online examinations. You know, what is the greatness of this mobile application? It is artificial intelligence enabled mobile applications. Okay, 3 hours, when a student is attending the class or attending examination, it is continuously monitoring the eye movement. It is continuously monitoring whether the student is carrying any document or any material, or any person who is in the back side or who is in the front side, who is helping a particular candidate in writing the examination. My dear friends, each and every your moment, your facial expressions are screenshot is being taken by the mobile app. It will send to the concerned coordinator. And if it is more than 7 times, there is unnecessary interruptions, unnecessary behavior of the students. automatically the students will be expelled from the education. That's not education, expelled from the examination. This is being widely used. Before that, they given a lot of instruction to the students. They are sensitizing the students, then they are conducting examination. So this is one important thing. Is the next one, sir. And second thing is this mobile app is being used for students assessment with 7 different parameters, 7 different criteria. The first one is verbal, logic, and quantitative and qualitative aptitude of the students. See, again and again, I'm repeating, my dear young teachers and my colleagues, with the conventional method, you cannot record, you cannot map the student performance, please understand. Now we are living in a world of ICT, technocracy. There is a software, there is a mobile apps are essential to continuously monitor the progress of your students. And another thing is the video profile features are also available with this Hire Me. When you are teaching for the undergraduation, when you are teaching for the post-graduation, a related useful information will be available. You can also share, but you have to decide whether you want to share, not to share. You have to decide. So variety of services are available. And more important is conducting online examination. This particular mobile app is very, very successful and it is available in the Google Play Store. If anybody is interested, just go to the Google Play Store and you can also read how it is being benefited for the education. Next one, sir. Then another thing is, I'm just going to the last part of my presentation. Madam, shall I complete, madam, within? Okay, fine. I will finish within 2 minutes. Okay, just very fastly. So the advantages of this e-learning, one is a new learning method. Now we are shifting from conventional method of teaching, conventional method of learning into the new and modern and new method of learning. For example, in this process, each and every content of your syllabus, content of your lecture, everything will benefit to the students. And students' learning process can be measured at each level, entry level, middle level, and exit level also. Next one, sir. Then second thing is e-books and online study materials are also available. E-books, even books published by the Oxford University Press, books published by the Sterling, books published by reputed publishers are available in website. And only thing is we have to identify, we have to locate where the sources are available that you can share with your students. Then there is no need to go to the library. There is no need to go to the library for collecting and hunting the data, but it is available in the form of e-books and other resources. Next one. Then coming to the third one is, there are another important, the advantages of these e-resources is, it reduces the gap. It reduces the gap between what we call education institution and the students. For each and every activity, students need not visit the campus. But when we were students, we wanted to pay a tuition fees, we have to wait on the queue. We wanted to apply for the examination fee, we made to wait in the queue. Or anything and everything, we used to visit schools, we used to colleges. But now, through this mobile application, variety of services, including the payment and other facilities are available. And more important is, I can monitor my son, I can monitor my students' attendance, performance, whether he is visiting the college, visiting the campus, attending the class every day through a simple mobile application. That is the greatest advantage. Next one. Then coming to the fourth one is, now you are very close to not only the learners, but the parents of the learners. The bridge or the gap has been reduced between you and the kids and your students and the parents. Every day you can also share your perception. You can also share the perception of your students, your kids with the parents, teachers. For that, the variety of opportunities are available through the technology. But only thing is, we have to use it. Next one, sir. Next one. We'll just go to the issue. Very good. Another thing is communication. Most of the problems what we are facing in 21st century, the communication gap between yourself with your stakeholders. There is a communication gap. It is being misunderstood. It is being misinterpreted, and people are not able to understand. But this gap has been reduced drastically. Every day you are in touch with your students. Every day you are in touch with your parents. Every day you are in touch with your learners. Please understand. Need not to type, need not to take a printout, need not go to the post office, need not to post your letters to our students. But within a minute, when the teacher or the student is absent, you can communicate to the parents. Or any new developments in the campus, you can communicate. When I am sitting in the hall, I am addressing the grievances of the students through mobile phones. So that is the greatest of this technocracy. Okay, coming to the last issue is, these are all the positive side of the ICT in learning. There is a negative side is available. The first important point, I wanted to make it very clear, there is a distance between the teacher and the learners. The ICT cannot replace the conventional, traditional method of teaching. See, for 1 year, we never met our students personally. For 3 years, students completed first year without meeting the teachers, without meeting the teacher personally. Online classes, you know how the online classes are being conducted. You know, cleverly, the students are taking the screenshot shot. They are sitting and like watching class lecture, they have taken a screenshot and they place it on the profile photo. Whenever I see that the students are attending the class, the student, they completely away from the online class. This is the negative side of teaching with the help of ICT. And don't immediately come to conclusion. This will get overwhelming response from all the stakeholders. This will get overwhelming response from all the stakeholders. When the teachers are ready to accept, the students are not ready to accept. When both the teachers and the students are ready to accept, the society is not ready to accept. And more important is one important issue, government spending for higher education. Government spending for higher education. It is a less than 2% of the GDP. It is a less than 2% of the GDP. It is around 1.6% of the GDP. The government is investing money for higher education, health, etc., etc. If you go to Denmark, Sweden, or any other Scandinavian country, there the spending is 6% GDP. But now they promised, government promised, they are going to invest 2 lakh plus crore. I don't know, all is well with paper. I don't know whether it is going to be 100% implemented in future. So we have to handle the situation balancedly, but think always of the positive side of ICT and benefits of the ICT for the learning, new learning outcome, and how we can improve the soft skills, the qualities of our students. So this is my personal experience and the avenues of ICT for higher institutional level teaching. Thank you for patient listening. I think whether there is a possibility for interaction, I don't know. And even any information or any your constructive suggestions or clarification, I think we can spend 2 minutes. I don't know whether Sujara madam mind, I cannot read the mind of my madam. So thank you for patient listening and a wonderful opportunity to talk you that too in the last session. I think I made some point in the class and I wanted to convert your mindset, ready to adapt new changes because the changes are only thing which is permanent in the world. Thank you. Namaskaram. Nandri. Vanakkam.
Sir,
చెప్పండి సార్ మీరు
really
గేమ్ కావాలి
wonderful, sir. We all are
చెప్పండి సార్ మీరు గేమ్
sir,
కావాలి సార్
we
చెప్పండి
really ignited. One side of the coin, there is n number of positivity with ICT based teaching. Another side, there are n number of equally negativity, as we have mentioned some of the points.
because
The
what of
most-
time sir, what of time
Yeah,
I'm not able to focus sufficiently on the other
Yes.
side of the ICT.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
the most important nowadays, the newspapers, it is a very horrible situation. More exposure towards the gadgets and the radiation, there is another big problem is going to face our next generation. What is their opinion? Is there any what is called the out of that syndrome. How can you come out of that syndrome? Can you expand?
Ethical way of hygiene internet surfing now, not only in India, worldwide it is being taught. We need to sensitize our student. We need to sensitize our kids, including our wife, including our husband, in hygiene use of mobile phone, social media, internet. Sir, you cannot escape from ICT. You have to live, you have to breathe, you have to work, and like your wife, like your husband, you have to work along with ICT. But only thing is we need to understand the ethical aspect of using the internet. So only for productive purpose we can use the ICT, electronic gadgets and mobile phones. When it is not empowerment, we need to use it. That is my personal opinion. And I have two children. Wednesday, half an hour. Friday, half an hour. My sons are permitted to use my mobile phone.
Yes, sir.
Please understand, 100% honestly I'm saying, even I can make a phone call to my children, you just to talk to the children. Wednesday, half an hour. Saturday, half an hour. My sons are permitted to use my mobile phone. Other days, they are not quarreling with me. They are not fighting with me. And they know that only Wednesday, only Saturday, they will wait for Saturday. And they are doing their work on Thursday, Friday. Such a mentality, such a mindset we have to create with our family, fellow members. First thing is, we should not use our mobile phones unnecessarily in front of our children, in front of our students. When you are late by 10 minutes class, our students will come late by 15 minutes. When you are late by 20 minutes in the class, entering the class, they will come late by 25 minutes. You cannot ask to our students. So we have to set an example. We have to set an example. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Hello, sir. So how successful we are when we interchange physical teacher with the electronic teacher? Are we prepared really?
Sir, I failed, sir. I failed. I success 40% only. I was success in when I'm teaching through online. See, you can just see my face. You can just see my face. The facial expressions you can understand. Whether I like it or not, you can understand. Whether I'm sleeping or not, you can understand. But in online teaching, online platform, it is very difficult to understand. It's very difficult to feel the mood and the feeling and sentiment of our students. That is the reason I told personally as a Saktivel, I am for that one. Maybe you are for the second one. I'm not going to compel you to come to my stream, and don't compel me to come to your stream also. When it is suitable for you, just go ahead, do best, do justice to the student community. Madam, shall I stop?
Yes.
I think
Thank you, sir.
when I say, shall I stop, madam is happy now. So once again, I am so happy. Once again, I'm so happy for your patient listening,
Thank you, sir.
including my boss, first time listened to my presentation. Thank you, one and all, and meet you again. Be safe, take care of your health, and don't underestimate pandemic. The third wave has started. Keep your health, hygiene. Hope to meet you again 2020-22 without pandemic, without online, but offline again we will meet. Namaskaram, Nandri, Vanakkam. Again we will meet.
Thank you very much, sir. Now, I request the reporter of this session to sum up and conclude this session, please.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon, everybody who are on this program through online and offline. Thank you very much, sir, for having a good lecture by you. And they have shown various ways of ICT in enhancing the object-based education, OBE. First of all, I should appreciate you, sir, for honestly agreeing for that offline education is more interactive and facial expressions are also there, which we lack through online education mode. But the thing is, we have to flow with the current of the stream. As you adopted and adjusted for the online teaching itself, we are also adjusting ourselves for this mode of teaching, which goes to the rural learners also. And the one more thing is, you aptly told the situation which prevailing in the Madras University. Literally, it's a very pathetic condition, pathetic situation. Being the oldest university in the entire South India, going through a very rough patch. And then coming to ICT based, positive aspects of this ICT based OBE, which enhances the OBE is, we can properly assess and we can regularly monitor the students through this ICT based or mobile apps, whatever it may be. And one more thing which is very useful for us is whenever a teacher goes into the classroom, you have to interact with the students for even 5 minutes, 5 to 10 minutes, which will automatically enhance his communication skills, life skills. And the one more most important thing is stress management. The lecturer has to improve the stress management levels of the students. Thank you very much, sir. Having a very good interaction and session by you. And the thing is, students, we regularly used to tell them to download e-books, e-material, e-content, whatever, whatnot. But the thing is, they are wasting their time in watching irrelevant movies and also things through net. So this is one drawback in this mode. When I was studying intermediate, our principal used to say this one, Janma Janmala Prapti Adhyapaka Vritti. Janma Janmala Prapti Adhyapaka Vritti. Because we are the only people deals with live things, isn't it? So once again, I thank you very much for your good lectureship, and thank you, sir. Thank you so much.